Okay. So welcome to everyone to our second interregional training seminar of Craft Code project, and thank you to the participation. I am Lucia De Siervo, Director of Economic Development and Tourism Department of the Municipality of Florence and Project Coordinator of Craft Code. And on the behalf of the Municipality of Florence, I wish you a very fruitful event. Craft Code project has been financed by the fourth call of the Interregional Europe program and began in August 2019. And this is our second interregional meeting aiming to explore the second topic, how to access to the new markets and target. In order to present the selected good practices to be transformed in specific tailored action and policies. The seminar is virtually hosted by our partner Fundesarte Spain, and Municipality of Florence is really proud to lead this international consortium made of different institutional, business and academic partners coming from Finland, Spain, Hungary, Belgium, Ireland and Bulgaria. We've more than 100 participants registered, so I'm really happy about the results. We have a rich 2 days program, and that's why I leave the floor to the overview dedicated to the general topic and presentation of 7 good practices selected among our among many others. I also invite you to read and download the Good Practices Guide we released for the topic 1 in order to deepen the activities carried on concerning the first of 4 topics, how to improve innovation in business models and process. I wish you a fruitful time today, and I wait you also tomorrow for a focus dedicated to the near future post-COVID-19 trend. Such economic scenario in Europe are focused on consumer goods. So let's work together.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Good morning to everyone. Thank you all for being here today. I have already recognized some faces before. On behalf of Fundesarte and the School for Industrial Organization in Madrid, we are really pleased to be the host of this second international seminar of Craft Code project. For those who don't know, Fundesarte is the leading institution in the promotion and development of Spanish craft enterprises, and we are part of the School for Industrial Organization. Our priority is to promote, value, and communicate the quality of craft products and the sustainability of its production processes through promotional initiatives as the Spanish National Craft Awards, the European Craft Days, and other exhibition projects. It will have been great to have you all here in our headquarters of Madrid, and maybe show you around the city, which right now it's beautiful with all the Christmas lights and craft markets, but the current situation is what it is. And we are really happy you are taking part in this meeting virtually. So yeah, we hope to enjoy a lot these 2 days and get very interested inputs from our speakers and all the good practices that are going to be presented. And yeah, thank you again. And let us start. Hilda, I give you the floor. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Silvia. Thank you, Lucia. My name is Hilde Hoefnagels. I work for Artesis Plantain University College in Antwerp. We are the advisory partner in this project, this Crafts Code project. And today I want to introduce to you a general overview. I want to give you a general overview of the good practices that will be presented, so that already before they are presented, you have some idea of where we are going. Okay, let's now try the technical part. I think, Shona, I think this general, yes, super. Let's try again. Okay, because we tested this beforehand and now it is not working. Okay, let me check one thing. Obviously, notwithstanding the fact that we are constantly working on the PC, things always have to go bad when the moment is there. So this is better, I think. Can you all see my presentation?
Yes, that's perfect,
Yes.
Hilda.
Okay. So, new markets and new targets, and of course also COVID. Today it is impossible to have a presentation or a lecture or whatever, a daily conversation, without COVID being one of the main characters. And also today we will see that in the presentations, in the good practices of our partners, this COVID thing has a huge role. Some of the partners are still struggling with it, others have found a solution, and others have built up a good practice from this COVID situation. So let's try and think about this from a positive side and see what the opportunities are thanks to COVID. I know it's not a general thing to do, but maybe it's not a bad thing to do either. Okay, so as you know, all our good practices are made from this atomic word, let's say. They have to respond to a few um, items. Atomic because every good practice has to be an ambassador, has to be a forerunner. It has to be transferable because what we want to aim at is the fact that some partners are strong in some points, others are weak in some points. And if these partners can find each other by transferring, by translating certain good practices in the other context, both partners will win from it. And thus we want to create an ecosystem. Every good practice as also needs to be objective oriented. So it has to be specific and describing a certain goal. It has to be measurable as in all projects. So it has to prove to have an added value, has to be innovative because it needs to differentiate from what we already know, let's say, and it has to be complete. Complete also means that problems or different difficult matters of attention need to be inserted because that too makes part of this good practice. Now, how to get access to new markets and targets. Starting up a new business is not so easy. For a young entrepreneur, and here with young, we intend to say first-time entrepreneur, it is important to remain alert and try to find new markets, new processes, new visions in whatever context. To remain alert also for those things that a consumer estimates highly and how respond flexibly to them. Currently, local products are popular. They already were before the COVID, and now they maybe are even more popular. People start to look more at crafts, at arts, because let's be honest, it's one of the only things that is remaining now, and that we can see nobody, and we are all in a lockdown, some kind of. In this context, we are living today a kind of revival of the appreciation of handmade, qualitative items, and we can focus upon that. It is of foremost importance to clearly identify who you will be selling to. This may sound simple, but it is complex. Before stepping into a market, try to get into the minds of the people you will be selling to. What are their tastes? What do they like to buy? How much are they willing to pay for certain products and services? How do they like to shop? A second step is obviously the setting of your price. It needs to reflect a balance between affordability for the buyer and feasibility for the seller, for you, for the craftsman. Be aware of possible hidden costs that may emerge. A third step is communication. How do you want to be perceived by the buyers? Your communication strategy should consider influencers, decision makers, media, and end users. And the last step is the competition. Who else is on the market? Who are your competitors? And sometimes it is also wise to partner up with one of them to learn from their successes and their failures so that you will not make the same mistakes. Okay, let's now see what our partners want to present to us. You will understand that I make a short overview because I'm not going to obviously repeat what the partners are going to tell. I give a short overview of every good practice so that you know more or less what is coming. We will start with Ireland, and Ireland will present Building Craft and Design Enterprises Programme. What is this? An equal partnership with the local enterprise offices. They want to bring business planning to crafts businesses. And this program goes through all the stages of business and product development. The stakeholders and beneficiaries here are all the participating practitioners, of course. Where is the main challenge in this good practice? The participant time commitment to keep up with implementing new product design and production, and also new service new markets. I'm very curious to see how they are going to explain this in detail, because it seems mighty interesting to me for any entrepreneur within the design and craft sector. Our partner from Hungary brings a good practice on the Festival of Folk Arts. What is it? It's a festival. It's a festival to preserve and transfer folk handicraft traditions. The fact is that young people are not so eager to step into this craft business. It's not so attractive for them. And this festival brings from different disciplines interesting presentations so that they might, let's say, they might disseminate some seeds so that youngsters become more interested. There are so many stakeholders and beneficiaries in this festival. I only mentioned a few. The Cabinet Office of the Prime Minister, 16 member associations of the NESZ, Hungarian Art Academy, and so many more. We will be told about this by our Hungarian stakeholder. Their challenge, of course, is first of all COVID. A festival is not something that we will see again in the near future. So we will have to move to a platform. This can also open new opportunities, of course. And then there has always been the continuous worry about the lack of resources. But thanks to COVID, this might no longer be a problem. If things will become more digital, they will cost also less for participants. We have two Finnish partners who both bring a good practice today. The first one is Ostrobothnian Sustainability Week. Hope to have pronounced it well. It's an organized week where we see promotion of multidisciplines, all about sustainability, all looking at sustainability from different angles. They come with new solutions, smart solutions, etc. A lot of beneficiaries and stakeholders also in this good practice: Regional Handicraft Organization, Regional Council, Recycling Center, Secondhand. So you see, it is from all different levels and angles. What is their problem? First problem now, today, is COVID, and we're very curious to listen at how they want to solve this problem. Lack of time of the actors, lack of network of the actors, and sometimes also the quality of what is presented. The second good practice of Finland is very, very special. It is called an international success with pieces of straw. So what we will look at, there is this handicraft, this crafts product that's called Himmeli, which is an old Finnish crafts product. And Eija, who is going to present a good practice, she uses her own passion, vision, and her own thoughts about marketing to bring this out again in the world. So now we are in, of course, tradition, but also in lifestyle. And this makes this good practice very special. A lot of stakeholders, again, from different levels: museums, customers, crafts, hobbyists, also tourists, architects, etc. Eija's main problem, her main challenge, is copying. And I'm sure she will tell us all about that and how she looks at it from a positive point of view. Our host is also presenting a good practice. It is Goya Barcelona. What is it? It used to be a fair where contemporary jewelry was presented. Obviously, fairs are no longer the case in today's context. So they have moved from a fair to an exhibition online. Not only an exhibition online, but also including preview sales for galleries and museums. And this proves to be very successful. Who is this all for? Obviously for the jewelers that are unable to present their work in person, and for the buyers, public buyers and professional buyers. The challenge here lies also with COVID, but from another point of view, galleries are sometimes reluctant to buy because they have suffered a lot from the lockdown already. Italy is combining two different good practices in one, very clever. Tuscan Collections and Firenze Creativa Shop. It is also a platform. It brings innovation through digitalization, a platform for high craftsmanship, which was born, of course, also in the aftermath of the first COVID lockdown. All craftspeople, both from micro companies and from SMEs, are here stakeholders, and the beneficiaries are national and international buyers, because the advantage of a platform is that you can attract many more buyers from all over the place. What is the challenge? Is a very specific challenge in this context. It is high quality pictures, because if you want to use a platform and you want to present your products well, you need top photographs. And this can mean a challenge, especially for small businesses. Good communication, of course, is as well of high importance. We have two partners in Bulgaria with two different good practices. The first one, a tumbler with aged Trojan rakia, please. For those who know what rakia is, here we go. What is the purpose of this good practice? The combination of two traditions. On the one hand, there is this plum brandy rakia, and on the other hand, there is the pottery tradition, bringing those two together in a gift box with the first aim to attract more tourists nationally and internationally. Okay, so we have a family business. We have the keepers of the pottery tradition and the tourists all involved in this good practice. COVID obviously puts a major challenge to them, and also the change of traditional tourism. We do not know yet where tourism is moving towards, but I'm very eager to listen to what these organizers of the good practice have in mind to fight the crisis there. A second good practice of Bulgaria is the synergy between local authorities and craftsmen and how they may attract new customers. So we have this synergy, the collaboration between local authorities, craftsmen, and a municipal cultural institute that will combine their forces in order to boost sales of handicrafts and thus improve the economic and living conditions of craftsmen in Bulgaria. Beneficiaries here are obviously the craftsmen. COVID puts a problem here because it is all about physical space, but I think that the Bulgarian partner can also learn from other partners already about how to face this problem. So as you can see, we are going towards a very interesting day today, and tomorrow it will not be any different. Tomorrow we have another program. But first of all, I'm looking very much forward to what our partners will bring as presentations of their good practices. Thank you all, and have a good day.
Thank you, Hilda. That's fantastic. Great. Well, I think we better get started, seeing as we have such a busy morning ahead. Emer and Emmett, you're up first. So Emer, if you're able to share your screen there, and we can get started. And as I said at the beginning, if anyone has any questions throughout, we will be doing a Q&A at the very end, but you can ask your questions in the chat function.
Good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen? Shona, can you see the screen okay?
Not at the moment, Emer, but if you just want to try again there.
Okay, no problem at all. Any joy?
There we go. And if you want to
Okay.
click on presentation mode, it'll come into full screen then.
Right, everyone. Delighted to be with you this morning, and that was an absolutely lovely introduction. If we had technology problems, if we were in Madrid, we could discuss beautiful architecture and craft, and it would be much less pressurized. But it's lovely to have everyone here today, and I'm going to talk on behalf of the Design and Crafts Council, and what I'm going to focus on with regard to access to new markets is the experience of the Building, Craft and Design programme and how we adapted it to COVID, because I think that's very pertinent and what you'd like me to talk about. Okay, so we're looking at how to...
Sorry, just before you begin, if you want to click on the presentation, it's just the bottom right, it just means it'll go into full screen, sorry there.
Oh, sorry, is it not on full screen?
It's not at the moment, so just beside that minus and plus, that little symbol beside the minus, if you want to click on that.
Where am I? Oh, sorry, I thought I clicked that for you.
No problem. If you want to click on the little present symbol just on the left of the minus button, that will go into full screen. There, yeah, that's it.
Sorry, my apologies, everyone. I thought I'd pressed that already. Okay, so what we're basically looking at, to summarize again, is how to access new markets and targets, bearing in mind the situation that we have had with COVID. Okay, so my name is Emer Ferran. I won't dwell on that. I basically look after the enterprise development area of the Design and Crafts Council, and along with the development of craft and design businesses. Okay, we are the national agency for the commercial development of craft designers and makers, and we stimulate innovation, and we champion design thinking, and we inform government policy. And the Building, Craft and Design programme is a reflection and manifestation of that policy. Okay, if you want to be a participant on the Design and Craft Enterprise Programme, you need to be 18 months in business. So it's for someone who has already conceptualized their idea. The main driver of the programme is to boost your products into new markets through design-led workshops and backup mentoring. We have makers from all disciplines, and we have makers aiming for all markets, from the high-end gallery market through mainstream retail to people who are selling from their studio. So we cover a whole array of items that will commercialize our clients so that they make a better living and that they sell internationally. Now, I was asked about the challenge of COVID. Unfortunately, we've learned a lot from COVID. That's good and bad. Medically, as you all know, we've learned an awful lot, but we've learned a huge amount in how to, at the Design and Crafts Council of Ireland, keep our clients connected with us and continue to help them develop their businesses. And what we did was we focused on the digital, and we will be focusing on the digital going forward. The Building Craft Enterprise Programme, up to the beginning of COVID, would have been delivered in situ with 7/8 workshops where the makers would have been together with their trainer specialist mentor, and they would have then had one-to-one mentoring on an individual basis. At the beginning of this year, we had to put it all online, and it has been extremely effective. I added extra webinars and workshops to keep the makers connected. They formed great networks, and they have been a support to one another during this extremely difficult time. Now, this is just a summary of the program. There's a snapshot post as to what it involves, and this all went digital. You see that we started off, there were training days. March, we were still training. By the 13th of March, we were all in lockdown, and these individuals were working really hard in their businesses, so we didn't want to lose that momentum, so we kept going. And these are all the key elements that I'm happy to discuss with anybody afterwards. And we used this model and transferred it to our colleagues in Bonhomme last year, where they thought that the model was very transferable. So I can talk to anyone about that afterwards. Key element here is that they undertake a research visit to a European capital. And if I reference London, that's out of the question at the moment, but we still aspire with our partners to deliver that for the group. Okay, these are our partners. The local enterprise offices in Ireland, there are 31 of them, are an extremely important economic driver of small enterprises who have less than 1 million turnover and they have less than 10 employees. We have teamed with them nationally to deliver this program. And by going digital, we are able to deliver more next year, and we are able to access and support more craft and designers in Ireland. So that's really excellent. Over the past 5 years, 300 craft and design enterprises have benefited from this program and have discovered new markets and have built up quite a considerable turnover. They have basically upped their game, for want of a better description. So here I have it here. They've launched new product ranges and processes. They've exhibited at international shows and they've increased their market share. So today I'm absolutely delighted that one of our graduates of the program has taken time out from his studio at one of the busiest times of the year to be with us. And I'll just add a quick note. I sat one morning last May having a cup of coffee, Saturday morning, and there he was in our national paper. So with that, I'll hand over to Emmett. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Emer. What an introduction. Thank you. Yes, so I hope everyone can hear me and see me okay. My name is Emmett Bosnay and my company is called Copper Creation. So very briefly, what I do is I take disregarded or scrap material like copper tubing, pipe, brass, iron fittings from the plumbing and engineering sectors in Ireland, and I try to reuse that material to make innovative homewares products. So I've got a range of tableware, a range of lighting, and then I also do a lot of custom work. So I'll design bespoke fittings, light fittings, you name it, and I'll give it a go for people, clients, domestic and commercial. Yeah, so I suppose for me, participating in the Building, Craft and Design Enterprise, as Emer just said, was about upping my game and getting my relatively new business professionalized and commercialized to a point where it was making an income for me and growing to a point where possibly down the tracks I can employ some other people. I found the course was invaluable. It gave me the tools I needed to progress with the business. It's very much a wraparound type of a thing. It runs over 8-9 months, which is very advantageous, I feel, because it's got longevity. It gives the designers a chance to implement the teachings that they are learning from it, and it goes from the top to the bottom in terms of every element of your business. You know, coming into a new business, it can be very daunting. A lot of designers and makers will be very specifically good at certain areas and not so good at others. And I feel the Building, Craft, Design Enterprise program gives you the tools you need from very experienced mentors who have decades of experience in their relative fields from every aspect of the business. And I don't think I'd be in the position I am today without the input and help from the program. For me, two of the main things which I took from it I did it in 2019, so unfortunately fortunately it was before COVID time, so we got to meet face to face, and the network that is created from the program is very valuable. So the other designers from all walks of life who you meet in the program become friends, become people who you consult with almost on a weekly basis around your business. And what's hard about starting a craft or design enterprise is typically you're on your own. You're a sole trader or an individual in business, and you think sometimes you can do everything yourself, but you do need the help and wisdom and advice from others. And I feel the Building Crafts Design Enterprise Program offers it in abundance. One of the main things it led towards was presenting and showing at a trade fair. In Ireland, it's called Showcase, and we built everything up towards displaying at the trade fair. This was a major way of accessing new markets and new customers. We developed wholesale models for selling to retailers and possible distributors and distribution networks across Europe, and displaying at Showcase in 2020 in January, just before COVID, opened up lots of new opportunities, lots of new potential interesting developments, not just in Ireland, in the UK, and also some in Europe too. So I suppose the course gives people the confidence to enter into new markets and not to underestimate their offering, and present it in a professional and viable manner, all with a view of at the end of the day making the business viable for the designer. I can't speak highly enough about the program. It's, as I said, it definitely propels your business to the next level. And I can't talk too much about the COVID situation as we finished before it started, but I do empathize with the current guys on the course in Ireland, as I imagine it can be quite difficult. But also, as Emer said, there's opportunities that arise. And for me, in the last 6 to 8 months since March and everything changed, the online presence of design and craft makers now has increased dramatically, and the people of most countries are going back to that now, and there's a huge surge in online purchasing. And I've noticed it myself. It's been really special for designers and makers, and I think it's the new frontier for all businesses, not just design and craft. The online market is where it's going to probably stay now, invariably, into the future. So yes, the course was fantastic. It set us up brilliantly for entering this new age of web sales, e-commerce. You have in-depth knowledge from very experienced mentors in terms of developing websites and stuff. And yeah, I think it was a brilliant program, and couldn't recommend it highly to any of the partners involved in the crafts code around Europe. I think every country should try to adapt something similar in some way, as it's important to promote and develop native craft and design, and get it to new markets, get it international, get it recognized outside of your borders and into your neighboring countries and further afield, to appreciate the depth of talent. Because I'm sure in Ireland, we're a very small country, but we always kind of are proud of our culture and heritage, and the depth of design and craft in our small kind of area. And in Europe and the rest of the world is very similar. So it's great to promote design and craft and get it out there and get it access it to new markets and make it international. And I think it's going to be even easier now because everything's digital. Yesterday I got an email from someone in Los Angeles inquiring about products. If they had to meet face to face, that would be very difficult, but it's much easier to do that across the internet and e-commerce. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, happy to take them. and thanks for the opportunity to present, and I hope everything was clear and concise.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Emer and Emmett. And as we said, if anyone has any questions, we will be doing Q&A session at the very end, and hopefully Emer and Emmett are able to join us for that. So if Emer, you're okay to stop sharing your screen, we'll move on to the next speaker now. So we're going to have Gabriella from Hungary. Gabriella, if you'd like to get your screen ready. And thanks again, Emer and Emmett. That really was so interesting.
Hello to everybody. Can you see my presentation? I would like to ask, can you see my presentation?
Yes, we can.
Oh. Okay. Now you can see better.
Yes, we can see it perfectly, Gabriella. Thank you.
Okay. Now, hello to everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gabriela Igyártó. I am the director of the Hungarian Folk Artists Association since 1992. It's a long time. In this presentation, I would like to speak about a good practice in safeguarding tradition in handicrafts. First, some information about the Association of Hungarian Folk Artists. The legal status of the association is non-governmental organization, NGO with two main principles of operation. This is the publicity and the democracy. In this field, our association is currently the only institutional network of traditional crafts and craftsmen in Hungary. The association is the largest traditional crafts organization in Hungary. We look back to a history of 37 years and have been continuously working hard in achieving our primary goals of supporting the values of the Hungarian handicrafts and of making an available for the public. We have also worked on enlarging the network, so at present we have a total of 60 members associations in all over Hungary and across the border, and more than 5,000 craftsmen as members. With this huge network, we succeeded in accomplishing a great number of famous national and international events for the benefit of our craftsmen and their products. In the last year, the Association and the Festival of Folk Arts on the National Register of the Best Safeguarding Practices of UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage, of which we are very proud. The association mission is to guarantee the quality of the handicraft objects manufactured by the members of the association. To achieve this, we have introduced special professional control, a trademark. The result is a very severe and strict evolution. The reason why we evaluated products is to increase the value of the product and to give them to deserved reputation and market recognition. With this special evolution system, traditional handicrafts products become a serious economic potential for both our national economy and why not for the international economy as well. As with the great number of national and international events organized by association, we offer craftsmen markets for selling their products, and we help most of them in making a living. Apart from the market possibilities, our events help in developing the values of the art of handicrafts and the handicrafts products into real and valuable touristic attraction. All activities of the association are targeting the value of traditional handicraft culture and the different way of combining these values to the largest public possible. We are also providing our masters with professional advocacy by protecting them and their products. There is a strong interest on the quality of living folk art, and when I use the word living, I'm referring to the revival in the use of traditional crafts products in their integration in our everyday life and our environment. For protecting these values, the association has several professional committees to take care of each craft apart. The most important for us all is to find a way to transfer the accumulated knowledge and know-how and to pass it to the young generation. For this, we have different platforms, camps, training, trainers, courses, etc. With its 60-member association, we have almost yearly 2,000 events on national and international level. We have conferences, different thematic exhibitions, many festivals, several workshops, camps, and courses. Most of them are on application and competition form. We are proud of having a great number of different other national and international events and programs as well. Each year we delegate master for events taking place in foreign countries. I can mention here only a few of the major events, like the Milano World Expo exhibitions in New York, Silk and Spice Festival in Uzbekistan, or the Folklife Festival in Washington, or the Cultural Bazaar in Beijing, and etc. A priority goals for us is to popularize and draw the attraction of tourists to the values of the traditional crafts and the specific quality and value of the handmade products. We are in continuous cooperation with the Hungarian Heritage House, the only governmental institution to protect the traditional crafts. Masters of our member associations are taking part in formal and non-formal training for adults and children. We are especially concerned in the training of trainers program, where outstanding masters help trainers learn different techniques of teaching the tricks of traditional crafts. With the special professional trainings and advanced studies for our craftsmen, we ensure a perpetuation of tradition and values. We make the summary of data related to traditional crafts, and we are managing the National Folk Database. We have cooperation and good relation with the Hungarian Heritage House. This is a governmental institution in charge of safeguarding the tradition of the Carpathian basins. We have a relation with different ministries, and very important our relation with the NGOs related to traditions. And the Festival of Folk Arts. Annual event of the association is the Festival of Folk Arts in August in Budapest. This year was the 34th event, nationally and internationally acknowledged festival and market. During the 34 years, the festival won several national and international awards. Every year, we have more than 17,000 visitors, and we invite 800 Hungarian participant craftsmen. And for this, we support the free participation of all members, handicapped artists, with paying their travel costs and accommodation, helping them in this way selling their products. About the financing, the festival are financed by different cultural competition sources and the entrance fees. These are the two main pillars of the financing. About the festival, in the historical surroundings of the Buda Castle for 4 days, hundreds of craftsmen present their traditional folk crafts in an interactive way in visual workshops with involving their audience in the process of creation. From year to year, we want to draw attention with a special theme dedicated to a given craft and presenting its diversity, beauty, and uniqueness. A special interest is in activities for children. They can get acquainted with the ancient Hungarian design work, can learn to play with handicraft objects, and recall our long forgotten traditional toys. In 2019, the focus was on footwear. This year was the headwear. We try to give space to young people who would like to learn the traditional crafts and professions. So every year we host students of Hungarian craft schools who also during the 4 days can learn from great masters. There are many examples when young persons were meeting masters during the festival and later choose their profession influenced by the master. In this way, we contribute to the meeting of generation and the transfer of knowledge. The event integrates almost all branches of folk art, folk music, folk dance, folk tales, activities for children, traditional gastronomy, custom presentation and fashion show, as well as very important events such as educational lecture, exhibition, conference, presentation of film, meeting and discussion with Hungarian and foreign professionals. The festival has different stages where traditional Hungarian and foreign singers, dancers and orchestra perform in the framework of stage programs. Among the stage program, each year we present a special tradition of the invited countries. So, for example, Yakutland bride was being dressed up, which was really a special experience. On the afternoon of the August 20, we celebrate Saint Stephen, our state founding king, with the procession of the masters and the blessing of the new bread. The most important aspect of the Festival of Folk Arts is in its community building function, that is to be traced in the joy of creativity, the joy of being together and belonging to the same creative community. It is also important to mention that the social responsibility that each participant feels for the others, and if we take into consideration that we have yearly more than 100 masters coming from different countries, the cultural relation overflow the national borders, expanding into flourishing the long-lasting international relationships. Last but not least, the festival is a perfect place for intergeneration cooperation, as I have already mentioned it within the previous slide. Many famous Hungarian designers are working with us and are presenting their products in the Festival of Folk Arts. It is a fortunate meeting of the tradition and modernity. With the renewal of tradition, designers are producing marketable innovation with products tailored to the needs of the customers of today. Each yearly we invited 150 foreign masters from different countries from all the world. In this year, concerning the festivals, the pandemic caused an extraordinary situation. The legislation ban constantly changed, and we didn't know that finally we will be or not able to organize our festival. During this period, we had to reorganize, I think, 3 times. Our aim was that in any case, the festival would be held. In the end, we made the idea that cooperating with other festivals in time and in space, we shared the parts of the festival. It means that the stage program were held in the originally planned time and venue in Budapest, in Buda Castle, but the handicraft program were organized by our member associations in 7 towns around the countries and different weekends during the August and September, with a smaller member and fewer visitors. The exhibition from the best work of the arts which we created based on the main theme of the competition, traditional head covers, was held in the Heritage House in Budapest. In that way, we helped our handicrafts artisans to earn income, and by the stage program, we could provide jobs for musicians and dancers and the festival organizer too. In the end, the summary and plans: safeguarding and passing on tradition, maintaining communities, presentation of crafts products to the vast public, drawing attention to the diversity, to the creative diversity of the folk arts. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Gabriella. It was really, really interesting. So we're just going to get ready for our next speaker. So it's going to be Finland. I think we have Nora. Fantastic.
Yes.
And there's another speaker for Finland also, or is it just yourself, Nora?
There are two presentations, and the other one is Nora and the other one is Eija. So, and both are present here today.
Fantastic, thanks.
So I don't know which one would like to start.
I can start.
Okay, thank you.
I had a Strabotnian Sustainability Week that we shortly saw something about in the introduction. My name is Nora Backlund, and I'm working for the Swedish-speaking 4-H in Finland, which is a youth organization that's working with youngsters, children and youngsters in rural areas. And it's an organization that you might be familiar with from your own countries also. But I'm here to present the good practice, the Ostrobotnian Sustainability Week that I'm coordinating. And it's an event week that we arranged this year for the first time. And that's, of course, a challenge to arrange or come up with a new event week a year like this with COVID. But what is then the Ostrobotnian Sustainability Week? I could say it's a show window for sustainability in a region. This event week is for our geographical region, and it's an event week where actors can show their sustainable activity and good example on sustainability and circular economy. And it's the target group is who can join this week or create the program for the week is companies, municipalities, or different organizations, schools, like whatever, almost whatever. It's an event week with both the small events, seminars, and different campaigns. The program can be almost anything. And it's free for actors to join and take part in this event week. The beautiful thing about the event week is that it brings together both small and large players under the common theme sustainability. So it can be a big multi or international company that's arranged something during the sustainability week, but it can also be just small actors, craftspeople, or small associations that arrange something during the week. It's a platform and an arena for discussions about sustainability it can focus on current topics in the region. So it's sustainability from many angles during one event week. The background, I said in the beginning that this was our first event week this year. It was in the autumn, in the end of September. The background why we did this event week, or why we brought it to Österbotten, is that we've been inspired from Sweden. In the Nordic part of Sweden, in Västerbotten and Norrbotten, there's been this kind of sustainability week for 10 years. They've done a quite similar week, but in with the circumstances that works in their region. So this is an event week that can be transferred to any other region and look the way it look like the region want it to be like, and it can be a mirror on what's going on in that region. It's event week, or the things that we brought with us inspired from Sweden was that it focuses on ecological, social, and economical sustainability. So the program during the week can focus of any of these topics. And we want to be a event week where you can feel sustainability with all senses. And this means that there's big possibilities for different kind of arts also to be presented during the week with exhibitions or so on, and restaurants can be involved, and it can be sustainability from many angles. The potential with a week like this is that it can strengthen the sustainability image for the whole region, but it also can strengthen the image for single organizations, single companies, municipalities, associations, craftspeople, anyone joining this week. It's a low threshold to join and be part in the program. I said that it's free participation for actors to join the event week. And it's easy to register through our website. It's a possibility to market your own activity in a sustainable context, and it's a way to find new customers. And we also have on our website a register of responsible actors in the region, where different actors joining the week can register themselves and tell about their work with sustainability. And this is a great opportunity for craftspeople to show their work. And also a big topic on our week is also to be part in influencing a behavioral change amongst people in our region regarding sustainability. So how is this realized, the event week? Now it's coordinated with project funds. My organization, the Swedish-speaking 4-H in Finland, is the coordinating organization for the moment. We've got project funds for 2 years. And as coordinating organization, we reach out to actors. We try to find responsible actors in our region who wants to join and be part in creating the program. As coordinating organization, we don't create create events for the week. It's the actors who join, who register the events for the week. So the program for the event week is made by responsible actors in the region. So therefore, it can look very different depending on in what region you have this sustainability week, or what kind of actors there is in different parts. We are also in charge of the marketing, and the actors joining this week haven't been paying anything for the marketing. It's us being in charge of that it has been marketed in the local papers and so on. But as it's coordinated with project funds, our challenge is to find a coordinating organization or coordinating network that will continue coordinating this event week after the project period. We have a website where the events can be registered. I said that it's easy to join and be part in the event week. Now this website is unfortunately only in Swedish, but in the green and pink boxes, you get there's different. It's information about the sustainability week, and you can reach the program. But you can also register your own program for the week, or register as a responsible actor to the register that is also found on the website. And in the boxes to the right, it's a screenshot of some of our events we had during this week. So when someone register an event here, it comes to us, and we look through it if it can be part of our event week, and then it will be it get visible on our website, and all events are gathered on our website. And there was a lot of different events during this year. Yes, Sustainability Week. We had some seminars, but a lot of associations having some kind of smaller event in their municipalities, and we had some handicraft event, open house events, and campaigns in shops, companies working with sustainability, and second-hand shops and so on. We also have a podcast for the Sustainability Week, and this was to have the possibility to lift up some of the actors or some of the topics that we're discussing, and that was on the agenda in our region. And this was also a possibility for some of the actors taking part in the week to get more visibility. For example, handicraft people talking about sustainable clothing or so on. And here are some pictures from this year's week. There were, as I said, different kind of discussions and campaigns, but also markets where different small crafts people and so on could join and sell their their products as a part of the Sustainability Week. And to the right, there's also a second-hand shop joining, and that was together with some craftspeople. They had this show window showing what you could do out of second-hand shopped stuff. And we had more than 70 actors that were with us creating this year's event week, and it was surprisingly much thinking about this year's situations. We got awarded for this week a Mid-Nordic Environmental Prize for the Sustainability Week. We got this autumn, and it was a great pleasure to get awarded for the challenge it had been this year to create the event week. And I could still say something about the COVID challenges. Of course, we have had a similar situation as many others also. So it was really challenging to find reach out to different actors during the year to find people interested in taking part on and create the program for this event week, as it was a total new concept for our region. But it went really well, and the actors joining made some of the program digital, and we had a lot of digital events during the week. But of course, there were actors that had planned a lot, so that couldn't be done. But I hope they saved their plans, and it works better the upcoming autumn to realize them. Thank you. That was a short introduction to the Sustainability Week in Ostrobothnia.
Thank you, Nora. That's fantastic. Aya, I think you're up next. If you're able to share your screen. And we're going a little bit over time, so we'll try and speed up a little bit, but thanks everyone.
Good morning to everybody. Greetings from Finland and a small village of Martois. First, I don't see you, but I would like to ask you if somebody knows what is himmeli.
No. I don't know.
I want to show it to you. It hangs here behind me.
Ah, nice.
From the ceiling, and it is made of rice straw. It's a Finnish traditional folklore decoration, and it's a geometric constructor. And you may see that it's moving all the time. So it's very, very, it doesn't wait at all. So the spirit in this himmeli, it's in its movement. I would like to tell more about the spirit of himmeli, but that's not the topic of today. So if you like to know more about the secrets of himmeli, I would like to recommend you to read my book. It's in Spanish and it's Los secretos del himmeli, el arte nórdico de la geometría.
Ah, nice. Why it's in Spanish?
I have written 3 books, and they are published in 5 languages.
Okay.
in Finnish, Swedish, English,
Ah,
Spanish,
okay.
Japanese, and now I'm writing my next book in German.
Nice.
About my background, yes, I'm Eija Koski is my name, and my title is Himmelist. And I think I'm the only Himmelist in the world. At least I haven't met anybody else who is working full time with their own company around Himmeli. And as I mentioned, I have written 3 books in 5 languages. I organize workshops doing Himmelis, and I sell these Himmelis, and also do it yourself Himmeli kits. And I have exhibitions around the world. Yes, that's what I'm doing since 10 years now. Earlier, I was working at the university and I had a promising career there, but I had to follow my own path, my passion, and I left the academic field and started to make Himmelis every day. So, if we go to the topic for today, the topic is my presentation is especially toward entrepreneurs, small and micro-sized entrepreneurs who wants to enter new markets, international markets. And I have founded in my own business 6 P's, 6 principles which are very important in my business to be successful with these pieces of straw. And that's not from the literature, although I have studied economics and international business in the university, but this is my own foundings when running this craft enterprise of my own. So let's go for the first P. And I think somebody has my PowerPoint presentation there.
Yes, I can share it just a second.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Oops, sorry.
So
Just a
the
second.
first P
Just opened it.
is passion. I saw my first Himmeli when I was 10 years old, so it's decades ago, and I had that Himmeli since then in my heart, in my soul. I have carried it with me, and for 10 years ago I decided that I have to follow my passion, and I recommend you to follow your own passion. Your own passion. And why when running a business? It's because if you have your own passion, you never get bored, you never get routinized. And what's most important thing, I think, you don't accept the no answers. I can tell you about my own experience, one example. When I, for 10 years ago, went to the publisher and I said that I want to write a Himmeli book. And the publisher said, yes, good idea, but you don't have enough audience. It's very small or narrow area. So thank you, but have a nice day. So I went to the next publisher, and I gave the proposal to write a Himeli book, and it was successful. And after 10 years, five books, and the first book has already had a 5th edition. So I recommend you not to accept no answers. I recommend you to follow your own passion and your own intuition. The next P principle for me is to find the purpose of your own business. We have to think very clear to set the strategy. What is my purpose to run this business? And in my case, I have chosen to be the Himeli ambassador in the world. So that means in the world. The world is open. In Finland, we have 2 words in Finnish which are not translated in any other languages. The other one is sauna. Somebody else has already exported the sauna to the world, and to export Himeli to the world, that is my duty. That is the purpose of my life. The third P here is a person. So if you are in a craft field, so I recommend you to personalize your product, your service, or your idea. So don't be like your neighbor, the other one else, and be something extraordinary. Be the best of you. For example, in our case, we live in countryside. We live in a village of 45 inhabitants. So it might be a very negative thing when running a business, but in our case, we have turned it into a positive thinking. Because if you have, if we organize here in our field, in our farm, we have an organic farm. So that's why I'm using the rice straw from our organic fields. So if we invite here Japanese people who are coming from Tokyo, very urban city with a lot of people, they wonder, is this utopia when coming to this small village with wilderness, with no noises, only emptiness. With in authentic surrounding in a farm with fields around. The fourth P is the product, and I mentioned here that concentrate on one product. My Himeli is very narrow, so I don't do Himelis, these geometrical structures from glass or paper. That's not my thing, and I don't do something else from straw, like hats or woven things. I do only himmelis. And it's for me, it might be easier because himmeli is in every language, himmeli. So it's not translated to any other language. Himmeli is in English and Japanese and France, it's himmeli. So we find each other all around the world in social media. And yes, there are a lot of enthusiasts in all over the world. So we find each other. So if you do everything for everybody, so there's for sure somebody else who is doing it better or cheaper. So it's better to concentrate on one thing, a product, idea, service, that you do it the best possible way, your extraordinary way. Then the fifth P is public. We have to identify our public, the target group. In my case, my target group, as I mentioned, is the world. And that's why I don't go to the Christmas markets in my village. Although it might be nice, but we have only limited time. And I make initiatives to partners that work in the world. For example, Finnish institutes in Japan and everywhere in the world, embassies, the people, organizations which has Finnish background, immigrants from Finland, they have some connection to Finland. And also there are Finnish design enthusiasts, and also that was perhaps a surprise for me that there are also architects. I have been having workshops in a university for architect students in Switzerland, for example. So there are, don't take for granted the most obvious thing where you can sell and what is your target. Think very widely and do initiatives. And as I mentioned earlier, don't accept the no answers, because miracles they do happen. So if you believe in yourself and your thing, so you can go through the wall, I should say so. And the sixth P principle is the most difficult thing, all of this, the price setting. Although I have the economic background, it's also for me very difficult to set a price. Not selling too low. And I do count I set the price, the minimum price for my product is I set 1 per hour, the price per hour. And as you see, my himmelis, they take very many hours to do. So also that's why I cannot sell my products in local markets. I'm sorry, I have to somehow add value to my products to get my daily bread and cheese above it. So by setting the price by branding, and I am selling not only the himmeli but its spirit, the Finnish cultural heritage, I'm selling the Finnish countryside, our lifestyle, a big package. And I was asked by a Japanese reseller to sell 1,000 Himmeli do-it-yourself packages, 1,000 pieces to sell 10 euros each. And I almost accepted. But then I got a question. Do I, instead of that, do 10 pieces of Himmeli selling it with 1,000 euros? It's the same result. And I try to do the latter, setting the, adding the value and selling more than not only the technical Himmeli. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Aya.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to everyone who's spoken so far. So if you're, or Tanya, if you're able to put the screen down and we can let Paolo speak next, I believe. And as I said, we will be doing questions and answers at the very end. So hopefully all the panelists can stay on and join us for that.
All right, it's ready there.
Okay, so now it's the turn of the good practice from Spain that is going to be presented by Paulo Ribeiro, who is the director of Joya Barcelona. Paulo is going to tell us about how this traditional fair that every year brings together thousands of people interested in contemporary jewelry had to change their format to adapt it to the new situation because of the pandemic. So thank you, Paolo, for being here today. You can start when you want.
Thank you so much for the invitation. For me, it's an honor to be here and represent what we've been doing in the past 12 years. So I'll start with my presentation. My name is Paulo Ribeiro. I'm the director of Joya Barcelona Art, Jewelry and Objects since 2009. And in all these years, we've been representing the best of art jewelry all over the world. Every year we have around 450 artists coming to Barcelona to present their jewelry, their art jewelry. And because of the pandemic, for the first time we had to adapt format from a normal fair to an exhibition and online event. So these are the two images in 2009 and 2020. I'm going to make a presentation that is a parallel between last year and this year. So you can see the difference from a normal format that I've been doing all these years to the new format that I had to adapt for the 2020, okay? So 11 years I've been presenting as a normal fair in different locations in the city of Barcelona. And then for just one time I had to adapt for this event that I will explain to you later on. So here you can see the normal format of the fair. As I said, around 450 artists from all over the world, more than 40 countries are coming to Spain to present jewelry. And this format represented by individual artists, galleries, collectives, schools, national schools and international schools, and also events all over the city comes to Barcelona. And we are focused a lot in the quality. So it's a commissioned fair. They have to be part of a selection that is made by international jury every year. So that's the usual format on the left side. And this year we had to adapt and make an exhibition. So we were hosted by Artesania Catalunya. And we presented individual artists also, collectives and schools in this new format that we had to do. Usually we have 4,000 people in 3 days of fair. The focus is in the professional people. And this year we were hosted at Artesania Catalunya in the city center of Barcelona. And we had the presence of 3,000 people in this 2.5 months that we were exhibiting in the place. Usually the jewelry, as you can see, it's a very conceptual jewelry. It's very artistic. It's presented in plain white tables. But as this year it was an exhibition, we had to present inside the vitrines that they were closed. So people could enjoy for longer, but they couldn't touch, they couldn't have the physical contact with the artists. As a normal fair, usually the artists, they come from all over the world to present their work and make their contacts. And in this year, unfortunately, they couldn't do it. So they sent the pieces to Barcelona and we exhibited there in the vitrines. In other hand, on a parallel, we did a very strong online communication through social media, through many different types of communication, as we sent to our official medias information during the whole year about the artists that were selected, about their concept, materials, technique, all the information that the press needs to publish their work. Also, we give the information of the artists, so then the press can make interviews with them and you know, to communicate their work. So the online format was both on 2019 and 2020, something that you used very strongly, and we tried to reach a wider public that is not only on the jewelry sector or in the art jewelry sector, but also could be interesting in this type of art jewelry. One of the tools that we use to communicate is we reproduce our own material. So Hoya, together with Wolf Kublum, he's a video maker. He produces videos that are promoted in YouTube and then in the social media to show the pieces in a person, in a model. So I invite you to go to YouTube and click in Hoya 2019 or Hoya 2020. You can see these videos in YouTube. Last year we did one video as we had a normal fair, and for us it was enough to have one video to promote the work of the artists, because you could see them in real and talk with the creators. But as this year we couldn't have the physical pieces together with the creator, we thought 3 videos were a better format to show all these pieces in a model. So we created 3 videos in the place of 1 that we've done last year, in order to promote more online and to have more our own material and our own way to promote the artists. Last year we did 2 shootings for international magazines. And this year we did 3 shootings for international magazines. In this way, we promote the work internationally. And we also show our vision in how to present this work. We try to have a very clean and contemporary way of presenting their work. And it's something we try to improve every year. So here you can see last year that it was a B2B format, normal fair. You can see on one side the artist, on the other side the public or the professional public that is interested in buying or representing or bringing to a museum this type of jewelry. So as here you can see on the second picture on the left side, on the bottom part, Sibelle Bion is presenting her work to Bryna Pomp. Bryna is the director of LUT, is an event in New York that she makes every year. And she brings artists from all over the world to New York to their museum and their public. So this type of high quality contacts for us is extremely important, as the artwork, the art jewelry is very high level. We also want to bring high level contacts for them that comes to see and then to promote or to bring to another country this type of work. This year, what we've done that they couldn't do it themselves is we send this information, like all the work that was presented in Hoya, to 300 contacts that are specialized people that are interested in either taking the whole collection to their gallery or the collection for the museum. So we luckily had more than half of the pieces presented, I mean more than 150 pieces, were selected by gallerists and museums to take part of their permanent collection or on the represented artists that they have in the galleries. So the preview for buyers, it was extremely successful and we are extremely happy. And this means the work we've been doing all these 11 years, it has a result. You know, people know about the event, people believe on the artists that are coming to the event, and people are interested in having this work that were presented in this event this year in a non-normal format. But after the fair, after the exhibition, sorry, all these pieces could go somewhere, you know, and our goal this year was not them to come back to their creator, but to go somewhere else that would end it in a final client, as a collector or as an art jewelry lover. Besides, the other pieces that were not selected by galleries or museums, we promoted them through the webpage named Clean02. That is a very important website related with art jewelry, creating a Christmas sales. So a selection of 28 pieces are part of the special Christmas sales. And these pieces are going to be sold for a direct public. So we hope that some of the pieces will also ended up in different parts of the world. Actually, we already sold some and we already sent them. So we know things are improving also this sense. But our main goal it's to promote their work for professional people. So then they don't take one piece, they take the whole collection for their gallery or the whole collection for their museum. Every year we give awards also. Last year we gave 6 awards. This year we gave 5 awards for the best collections, the best pieces, the best techniques, different categories, and also collaboration with other jewelry events as Autor, Athens, Brazil Jewelry Week, and also Schmuck from Munich. So the winners, they take part of Hoya, and the winners at Hoya, they go to different countries representing the event. On more the academic field, we usually have conferences from international guests. Last year we had 3 conferences. This year we had one Zoom that we talked about responsible jewelry or jewelry that is sustainable. And it was organized by Gold for Future, by the collective Origin. And last year we had 3 conferences that were about different subjects related with the theme of Hoya, as Hoya has a different theme every year. Besides the fair, every edition we invite the galleries in the city to prepare special events. So last year we have 21 of events prepared by different galleries and museums. This gives a lot of power to the city, as the city is involved in the together with the fair, because the fair just usually takes 3 days, and in this case, these exhibitions were taking 1 month or 2 months, or even 6 months, and it complements a lot, and it gives the public that is visiting Barcelona the possibility not to go just to the fair, but also to these exhibitions that is all over the city. This year we only had, unfortunately, 5 of events. Of course, because of the pandemic, and many galleries, they were afraid of preparing something that maybe they couldn't do, as the galleries were opening and closing depending on the time of the year. But hopefully next year we are going back to the normal format. Every year I make a communication as a person. I go to the fairs, bringing the artists, a selection of artists, or giving awards. As at Schmuck, I bring a selection of artists from Hoya to go to Munich in order to promote the fair and also to promote their work. To Autor, I go to Autor Bucharest. It's another jewelry fair. I go there, I give an award, and I talk with the artists in the sense like I encourage them to take part of my event, and also encourage to continue in this field, right? And in Athens Jewelry Week, I also go every year, and for me it's very important, this contact with the creators, in order for them to know a little bit more about the event, and also me to know what they are presenting every year. This year, everything was online. I was invited to take part of many different Zoom webinar. I did one in Athens, one in Italy, Chile, Colombia, and Brazil. So, and now this is the other one that I was invited to talk about Hoya and about what's going on in the art jewelry field in Spain. So. And this is a final result. As the communication of Hoya, it's extremely important for the artists as a final result of what they've been doing. Besides to commercialize the pieces, I think we promote the art jewelry field in a very wider way than a normal fair, as we position them in international magazines as Vogue, L'Officiel, El Numero, or Glamour, and this year, of course, because we didn't have a fair, it was way much more difficult to put them on the magazines, but we tried our best, and we still positioned them in L'Officiel and in specialized media, and also in different websites and newspapers. So as the fair, it's only 3 days, we try to produce and to communicate the work of the artists in a bigger way, so then they don't have only these 3 days of participation. They have the feeling, and it's because we've been working since February until November on the fair, so then they have this final result that is the fair, and also the communication, the video, the pictures, and a lot of content for them to use, and also to promote on their social media and their channels, to show their work in a different way. So that's how we work usually, and that's hopefully in the next year we can go back to the normal format. But from this year, what we've learned is that the service that we started to give, that especially it's the preview for buyers, we probably will continue doing the next years, because it's something that worked and something that we want to give to the artists that are taking part of the fair, and as an extra service, besides their direct contact with the public and with the professionals that they can have at the fair during the days. But we were positive in the way that we've learned we had to adapt, and it was a quick a quick change, and that we had to do. And yeah, so we've learned we had to work double than a normal event, but we've learned a lot in this process, and we're happy with the results. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Paolo. Very, very interesting. And I'm sure a lot of questions will be coming for you at the very end. So we're going to move on to our next speaker now for Italy. So it's Elisa Guidi. Elisa, if you're ready, if you want to share your screen.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everybody. So do you see the screen? I have to change. Sorry. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for the very interesting best practice I heard, and for the introduction made by Hilde, which was really interesting. We are speaking about two new experience, and we have just launched the two project I will speak about. And as Hilde noted in the introduction, we are speaking about two new projects that we launched because of the situation created by pandemic of COVID-19. Of course, the situation has impacted really strong with companies, with craft companies, and with small and medium enterprises that work in craft field, because all physical events, both B2B and B2C, so business to business and business to consumers, events, fair, exhibition, were cancelled here in Italy. And so we tried to find a new way to present our companies on the market, national and international markets, and also to help them to sell their products. So the first one I'm speaking about is a Tuscan Collection. Tuscan Collection is a project that we launched yesterday with a press conference with the Regione Toscana. And this is a platform devoted to create new meeting occasion for craft companies and from Tuscany and international and national professional buyers. Is a place in which we can present to professional, both buyers and journalists and architects, our companies that are used to work on foreign markets, because this is a platform devoted for professional. So we have to work with companies that are used to work with the market, with professional buyers, with the international markets. We present and we select high quality handicraft, high quality companies. And also we try to create a new digital business and a new digital platform for our companies to place their orders online, or to find any way meeting occasion with professional buyers that they were used to meet during international fair in Italy and abroad, and that in 2020 they cannot reach in the usual way. So why Tuscan Collection that is online now? Why is a best practice? First of all, the platform is an ambassador because it is a platform that was studied to create a new way to connect companies from the craft sector in Tuscany and business players. And so it's a new platform especially created for craft companies. It's transferable because it's something that we can do that it can easily transferred in other countries or region, because the concept is to create a very interesting window, but not only window, a meeting point between craft companies and professional buyers. As a very clear objective is to offer a new solution for to craft small and medium enterprises to meet buyers, as I told you before, considering that COVID-19 canceled all physical events. At the moment we cannot have many results because, as I told you, we launched the platform yesterday. At the moment we have in the platform 60 companies because we worked with them to build the platform itself. So they are kind of collaborators for us to create the platform. And next week we will launch the platform and the possibility for Tuscan companies to be on the platform to all our database and to all Tuscan companies and to all association and stakeholders to help companies to be included in the platform and to be presented in the platform. Our objective, our goal is to have at least 100 companies, but we think even more. And at the beginning of 2021, we are starting a communication campaign to bring professional buyers from Italy and from all over the world to visit the platform, to visit the window of our companies and to keep in touch with them. So we will launch two different kinds of communication company, one addressed to other Tuscan companies to be included in the platform. The second one addressed to professional buyers to come and visit the platform, to come and visit and meet companies. Is an innovative marketplace because is not only a showcase for our companies, but is also, as I told you before, a meeting point in which buyers can register themselves, organize a meeting about with the different companies. They can download the catalogs or videos or technique fish, everything they need to know, and they keep in touch directly with companies. And the platform is complete because address a very contemporary problem, as I told, the difficult or the elimination of all national and international fair travels, B2B and so on. We have in the platform 7 different categories in which we list companies and our furniture, lighting, home decoration, table and kitchen, contract, because we have some craft companies in Tuscany that can work on projects with architects and so on, gift ideas, lifestyle items, and unique custom-made pieces, because we have also unique pieces and that can be very interesting for a professional from all over the world. And in each category, we can find several Tuscan handicraft company, and each company has a different product with technical information, with all kind of information a buyer can need, and also the possibility for buyers to become followers for companies, to be in touch with them, and so on. So B2B meetings, of course, is not a matching platform as you can find in the web, because usually matching platform are used for events, for a short period, 2-3 days, in which you can organize in a virtual way the matching between companies and buyers. This is a different thing. This is as yesterday was told during the press conference, this is an infrastructure for Tuscan handicraft companies. The platform will remain, will be improved, will be bigger and bigger, and so we can organize meeting, but is not directly in the platform. They can be in touch and we can organize, but out of the platform. Some images, we studied the logo, we try to have a graphic and the imaging of the platform very professional, because as I told, we want to work on a professional level, and so it will be interesting. Sorry. So if you need more information, then we can send you the link to have a look to the platform. At the moment, the platform is of course in Italian and in English, and perhaps in our next step we will translate in other language, because if we want to work in a very international way, we need perhaps to have more language on our platform. Anyway, we are starting with Italian and English. Our second best practice is Firenze Creativa Shop, which is a project promoted by the municipality of Florence. And this is the shop of a website, a community that we created last year with the municipality of Florence to present creative companies and handicraft companies in Florence. And now, considering the problem of COVID 2020 and the problem of the loss of tourism in Italy, but mostly in Florence, which is a very important problem with craftsmen based in the city. The municipality of Florence thought to create a new possibility for them to sell their products, mostly in this period of Christmas gift. So we are working with the municipality of Florence, with MIP Murate Idea Park, which is an incubator, or anyway, who made the tutor for new companies, and I think was a best practice for the municipality in the first step of Craft Code project. And with a startup which is based in Murate Voodoo, we are starting to create, and we have online the first part of this shop. We are starting to create a specialized shop linked to the platform Firenze Creativa that can offer to craft companies in Florence a new possibility, a new shop online. But it's a shop online which is not a normal shop online or e-commerce, because it is really easy to be managed by craftsmen. We tried with the municipality to find a way to help craftsmen that are not so keen in digital tools to have the possibility of to have their own e-commerce shop online in a very easy way, without cost and beginning, and with a lot of services that are given by the Voodoo company, and so this is an e-commerce created especially for craftsmen. So why the best practice is an ambassador? Because it's created by the fusion of a Florence-based startup technology and the needs of craft sector. And as I told you before, it will help, anyway, we hope, it will help our craftsmen to sell their product. Is transferable because the platform is developed with a system that can be reproduced and can be transferred in other countries, in other regions, and also in other sectors, should we need to do that. Because it's a special program, open source program, but anyway, a special program. Very simple to be used. Is anyway a professional e-commerce, but is very simple to be used. The objective of the best practice is clear because the focus is to enlarge the possibilities for craftsmen to find new clients. We are, of course, addressed to consumers, so it's a B2C project, and so they can open their own online shop and try to find new clients and new buyers for their products. For the pilot project at the moment, we are going to include in the platform 25 craft people, because as we did with Tuscan collection, also for Firenze Creativa Shop, we need to work with a small group of craftsmen to create the best project for all craft people. So we have to manage before all kind of issues or challenges that the program will present, and then so we can start with more company to be included. And we are helping craftsmen to be on the shop Costanza, which is connected now, is working with each of them to help them to be in the platform in the right way. And this is innovative because it's an immediate system to sell product offline, because the innovative part of this project of Voodoo technology is that the craftsman can take a photo of the object with the phone, and then he can add in a few seconds the object in the shop. So it's a very easy way to insert product and photos in the e-commerce, in the shop. And Firenze Creativa Shop works also to develop the new technology I was speaking about for the craft sector. As I told you before, we are working to adapt the program and the technology in the best way to the craft sector and to the needs of our craftsmen. This is just a picture of the home page with some items in evidence, and as I told you before, the website is online now, and we can buy. And Firenze Creativa Shop is, as I told you, we try to help craft people to sell online, and why the e-commerce, the shop is so interesting. First of all, as I told you before, because it's very simple to be updated. Craftsmen can do picture with the phone, and they can add product directly by the phone. So it's easy, and
is easy to be used. And in the same way, they don't need to have to stock pieces, because they sell and they can produce by selling, and shipping is managed by Voodoo, and also payment are managed by Voodoo. So craftsmen have just to sell their product, but they don't need to work about logistic issues of the project. This is an example of the technology I was talking about. This is the craft woman who's taking a picture of the object, and then the step, and you see here you can have directly the picture and all data concerning the object she's working on. And we are starting with craft people that live in Officina Creativa, our building, which is also a project by the municipality of Florence. And then we will enlarge the participation to all craftsmen of the city and also of the neighbor, of course, if they are interested in. So thank you for your attention. And should you need further information, you can write to us. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Elisa. So we are nearly there, everyone. We have 2 last good practices that are going to be presented from Bulgaria. So I'm not sure if it's Nina going first or Velimira, if one of you would like to let us know and share your screen.
Hello from Bulgaria. My name is Nina Dimitrova, and I'm a curator in the Museum of Folk Crafts and Applied Arts in the town of Traian, and I will present you the good practice from Bulgaria. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you perfectly, Nina. Are you able to share your screen?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Nina, we can hear you and we can see your screen now. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
You can just click it big. So.
Hello again from Bulgaria.
It's perfect. Thank you.
My name is Nina Dimitrova. I'm a curator in the Museum of Folk Crafts and Applied Arts in the town of Traian, and I will present you the good practice from Bulgaria. Can the synergy between the local authorities and the craftsmen attract new customers? The craftsmen from the region of Central Stara Planina traditionally sell their manufactured goods by themselves. In the last 100 years, the most common form of direct sales are the markets, open areas for buying and selling various goods, and the fairs, big temporary markets dedicated to a certain annual feast day. The artisans travel from town to town in order to offer their handmade items to the customers. Another well-known method of sales is the specialized shop, a permanent place where products from local craftsmen are offered. Such shop was established in Traian in the 1970s by the initiative of the Crafts Museum. It offered products made by the members of the Trojan Craftsmen Atelier, which was part of the museum. The shop was located in the central part of the city and was popular amongst the local people and their guests. It existed until 1990. For almost 30 years in the town of Traian, which is visited by many tourists, no shop offered the famous handicrafts of Traian. To overcome these deficits and while recognizing the benefits for the city of improving the access of artisans to new customers, in March 2019, the Municipal Council of Traian decided to provide municipal premises to the local branch of the Union of Master Artisans of Folk and Arts Crafts. Thus, the tradition was revived. The members of the union took the responsibility to repair and furnish the premises by themselves and to transform it into a shop. The necessary funds were raised by a raffle organized on the 12th of December 2019, the day of Saint Spiridon. In Bulgaria, Saint Spiridon is celebrated as the patron of the craftsmen. With some of the money, they purchased timber, paints, varnishes, and brushes. The artisans managed to make the furniture and to renovate the room in a few months. The rest of the raffle money was used for purchase of a cash register and for one salary for the shop assistant. The craftsman's shop in Troian was officially opened on the 26th of August 2020. It's located in a good communicative place, not too far from the city center, and people who appreciate handmade items can visit the store every day except Mondays. The free nearby space is intended to be transformed into an attractive zone where the master artisans can demonstrate their skills and various cultural events can take place. The next step to reaching new customers is to create an online store which will allow the craftsmen to jointly present their products to national and international markets. The personal commitment of the mayor of the municipality of Troian contributes to the success of this good practice. She personally opened the store, promoted it on her Facebook page, in interviews and press conferences. Local authorities, craftsmen, and a municipal cultural institute combine efforts and resources to create an exciting space for sale of handicrafts and demonstrations, which attracts the interest of tourists, enables the access to the new customers, contributes to the overall sustainability, economic and social of the city, and improves the craftsman's standard of living. The resources needed to realize the shop are 600 euro and a lot of voluntary work. But in this case, it's obvious that the good partnership between the local authorities and the craftsmen is more important than the money. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nina. So last but not least, Velimir, are you able to share your screen?
Yes, hello everyone. It's written I cannot share my screen, maybe
Nina, if you don't mind stopping sharing, and then will Velimir be able to add up her presentation?
Just a second, please.
No problem. And just a reminder that after this, we will be having the Q&A session. So if you have any questions, please just type them into the chat or the Q&A function. Or if it's easier and you would like to directly speak, you can raise your hand virtually in Zoom and we can allow you to speak.
Okay, I hope you can hear me and you can see the presentation now.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm delighted to be with you today. My name is Velimira Kristova and I'm a representative of Regional Association of Municipalities, Central Staropolina, as one of the CRAFTS project partners. The second good practice from Bulgaria I would like to share with you is called a tumbler with H. Troian plum rakia please. The municipality of Troian, member of Regional Association of Municipalities Central Staropolina, is well known with its pottery and plum branding. The smart idea of Vinprom Troian, which is one of the most famous Bulgarian brand producers, is to combine these two traditional pillars of the local economy, resulting in a gift box named H. Troian plum rakia with ceramic tumbler. The product was launched in October this year, 2020. To validate the idea, Vimprom Troian collected information about gift box sales in Bulgaria and abroad, did market research through its network, identified the target groups, Bulgarians and local regional communities abroad, and attracted as partners Metro Bulgaria and small Bulgarian enterprises in Germany, UK, Spain, France, and Malta. According to the concept of the tumblers, in the gift box must be handmade pieces with aesthetic design, including the famous, more than a century-old pattern of straw and pottery called droplets, as you see on the photo. Vimprom Troian organized a tender to select a potter, and the winner, the family company Radilina, made the best prototype of a tumbler in accordance with the requirements of the assignment for colors and patterns. And who is the winner actually? This is a small family enterprise established 40 years ago in Troian. The company specialized in production of ceramics for home souvenirs and sets for beverages. The artisans they are always ready to experiment and easily accept the challenges that they are facing. They are real keepers of the pottery tradition, faster generation of craftsmen, and being well-skilled and supportive families, they easily can meet the needs of larger scale production due to the need of 1,000 gift boxes as a start for entering the new market. And as you see on this slide, this is the result of the cooperation between the producer, Vimprom Troian, and the ceramic producer, the family company Radilina. The gift box, which consists of a bottle with 7-year-old plum rakia from Troian and 2 handmade tumblers, benefits both partners. Thanks to the good marketing strategy, online promotion, sales via real and online stores, they will attract new customers and access to new markets. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Belimira. Well, we have finished with all the good practices. Thank you to everyone who has participated, to all our speakers and guests, and also all the people who join us today. I have collected 2 questions from Carlota Viviani, who is already in the screen. If you want, I can. If you want, you can ask them directly because they are too long.
Yes, sure.
Maybe,
Sylvia, thank you very much.
And you can tell them. Okay.
I would like to thank you again, all the participants, and all the presentations were really, really very interesting and very good. I would like to remember to all of you that all the presentations will be available on our Crafts Code project website in the Interreg Europe page, so you can see them again, and you can keep always in contact with partners and the good practices owners. So my questions were was one for Nora, because I have seen a lot of supporting partners in your project, and I would like to better understand the role of each partner, because I have seen another Interreg Europe project than the supporting of the Swedish cultural environment and other institutional partners. even of European level?
Yes, the partners you saw in my presentation, or the icons you saw there, they are funding agencies that are funding the project, and that's their part in the sustainability, that they are it's the European Agricultural Fund, and then the regional leader group, and then the Swedish Cultural Fund, that is founding projects for the Swedish-speaking minority in Finland. But they're not involved in the practical work with the Sustainability Week. But other partners that are involved in the project are a vocational school, but they are not working with the same event, but they are producing more material about circular economy in rural areas. And then we have also a partner on Åland island, the island between Finland and Sweden, and they're more like a partner with whom we share knowledge and good practices.
Thank you very much, Nora. So we can go on now with other questions that I see in the chat. For Velmira Hristova, what is the procedure of becoming the maker of the tumblers and the provider of rakia? Is there a tender, or is it more informal?
According to the concept of the tumblers in the gift box, they must be handmade. And actually the producer, Wim Trujan, organized a tender to select a potter. Yes, there is a tender. And they must fill some inquiries. As I said, according to the concept, they must be handmade. They must be with aesthetic design, and including the famous pattern of drawing pottery called droplet.
Okay, thank you very much, Velmira and Hristova. And I think please let me know if you need more details or so on. Otherwise, I go on with the other questions. And for Elisa Guidi, for the Firenze Creativa shop, what is the added value on or benefit for crafts people to sell via Voodoo vis-a-vis other e-commerce platforms like Etsy or Instagram shop or others? Thank you.
There are some difference. The first is that Etsy is a marketplace devoted to craft anyway marketplace. Here, each artisan has his own showcase, first of all. So you can arrive to the shop through the website, the platform Firenze Creativa, but you can also arrive directly to each shop of each craftsman. The second benefit is that there are no fixed cost to participate, to be in the shop, because the only cost for craftsmen are some percentage for the bank, for the payment online, and for the services that are given by Voodoo company. And the third benefit, very important for craftsmen, is that Voodoo act as a logistic partner for craftsmen. So is Voodoo that can manage shifting the products, and that can manage assurance if there are any problem or any lost objects. Is Voodoo that is the accountant in some kind of for the craftsman, because is Voodoo who sells the product to consumers. So the craftsman at the end of a month or the period that they establish together can make an invoice to Voodoo of all sales he did, and then so is easier also from administrative point of view for craftsmen. Is easier because the logistic part and administrative part of the shop is managed, is a service given by Voodoo. So is easier mostly for very small companies. Of course, also in Firenze Creativa shop, and for each shop of craftsmen are needed some communication campaign, some social campaign, some advertising as for a personal shop. This is necessary, of course, but all logistic and administrative problems are managed by Voodoo. So I think it will be easier for them. And anyway, Voodoo can also promote the shop on Firenze Creativa on other platforms like Amazon, like Etsy, in the case that craftsman has other shops in other platforms or marketplaces. So it's not something that you must do in a very exclusive way. If you need further information, we can give you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elisa. And now I don't see at the moment other questions. So waiting for eventual other questions, I would like to propose you the last effort to do. Here in the chat, you can find a link. If you click on the link, you will have a pool. The pool will start in some minutes. It's very short. It's completely anonymous, but we can have your point of view of this about this seminar, about the good practice we have presented. So I kindly ask you to vote. It's completely anonymous. We will take just a few minutes, and in the meantime, we can wait for other questions and answers, and then we say you goodbye and we thank you again for the participation. So I hope, okay, so I see that you are voting. Which of the good practices that were presented today are interesting for you? Is a multiple choice answer, so please you can vote and you can register your preference on the poll. And we will see the results just after the end. So I think I can go on in a few seconds because I continue to see voters, and I just wait for some minutes and then we can go on. Okay, we can go on with the next question. Just a moment, because there are still people voting. So it's a useful way to have a feedback from you, because the online seminars, as you know perfectly, because you are used to participate in, have this problem that is really difficult to have a feedback, to perceive the feeling of the audience and to go on with a presentation in front of a screen. So this was a proposal to make something different and to have a feedback immediately after the presentation. Okay, I have 56 votes, so I go to the next question. After the presentation of all the good practice today, do you feel there is a gap in your skills, experience, knowledge within the theme of this ITS? So do you think that the good practice proposed have respected the theme of the Interregional Training Seminar. So how to get access to new markets and targets. This is a single choice, yes, no, or I need to think about it because I need more information, or I have to see the good practices again and give a feedback about that. Okay. Okay, we can, I think we can go on because people are still voting. In the meantime, I give a look to the chat. So please, if you are, if you would like to ask something to our speakers, please don't hesitate to put it in on the chat box. Okay, I think we can go on now. We have more than 26 voters. Okay, so do you see the opportunity to transfer them to your own region? Are these good practices potential transferable to your own region? Is a single choice? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, with some adjustments. I will keep in touch with the good practice owner in order to get more info, in order to understand if there is or there will be the possibility to go on. Okay, in the meantime, I would like to thank you, sorry, I just to thank you, Silvia, because there was another of my question for Paolo, but he directly answered to me because I would like to understand if the preview, the format of the preview for buyers was useful, and he answered to me that there was an amazing result because they had really very positive feedback, and the photos are done in high resolution, and all technical details about art jewels are very well done. So amazing results. Thank you, Paolo. We go on. Will you organize a one-to-one conversation with one of the partners that has more skills, experience, knowledge in the theme of the Interregional Training Seminar? So the question is, would you like to be in contact with the speakers or with the good practice owners in order to have more details or to develop some projects together? And because we would like to organize a matchmaking session that was foreseen at the beginning of the project, but then due to the COVID situation, we need to rethink to other different instruments to put in touch people. So okay, thank you very much. You are voting. You are really a lot. So we need some minutes to keep all the voters to the system. Okay, I think we can go on. and to which of the good practices that were presented today you feel your own good practice can be complementary. The point is, maybe you have not presented a good practice, but you know something very very interesting in your region, and this experience could be complementary to one of the experience presented today. Okay, votes are coming. This is a multiple choice, so you can vote more than one good practice. It's not a race, it's just to have a feedback. Okay, we have more than 33 votes, 37, 8. Just a few seconds and then we go on. Okay. I think we can go to the next one. What can the advisory partner do in order to assist you in the all aforementioned items? As you know, we have an advisory partner. Hilde Hofengard will present the overview about the topic of today. But do you think that organize separate meeting aiming to deepen the presented good practice could be useful, or suggesting the cross-cutting items for further events? Are you interested in research similar experiences out of the project partnership? Have you some suggestion also for our advisory partner to improve the activities? As you can see, this is a multiple choice, and as you can see, some of the questions are more related to project partners and stakeholders, and others are open to every kind of participation. But your suggestion is so important for us, so please vote. And in a few seconds we go on. Okay, people are still voting. Okay, I think we can go on. And the next one is, have you already visited the policy learning platform on the Interreg Europe program? If not, please go, because it's a very, very important database, and you can find really important suggestions about a good practice, not only related to handicraft, but related to all topics covered by Interreg Europe program. So from energy to sustainability to SMEs, and all the good practices selected and approved in the framework of Interreg Europe program have been submitted on the database, and they are open to all the community. So please go in and visit it. There are really important suggestions. And we go on. And in this database, there is also a separate section fully dedicated to good practices linked to COVID impact. This could be really important and interesting to be visited, and in order to keep suggestions and to have an example of what other countries, other players are doing in order to face the worldwide emergency and to support different kind of economic sectors. Okay. So we can go on. People are still voting, but okay, we just 4 questions are missing, then you are free. Sorry for this last section. Okay, we go on. Do you consider the attendance to the Crafts Code second interregional thematic seminar useful for your activities? Be free, please feel free to say no, and please feel free to give your feedback without any problem. You are voting. I'm happy to see that the most part of you feel this participation useful. It's always difficult to keep the attention in the streaming and online session. Okay, you are still voting, but I think we need to go on and proceed. Okay, so what did you think of the good practices presented responding to the topic how to access new markets and targets? Have we centered the topic with these good practices? The Craft Code project has 4 main topics to be centered. And it's important to select the good practices that really are fitting with the topic. Okay, people are still voting. Thank you. Okay, we gone and we finished. This is a more statistic approach. So please give your vote if you are a project partner or a craft person, if you work for public authority or craft organization, or you are a stakeholder. You can have a multiple choice because some players have a double role. And then we go directly to the last question. Okay. Okay, 31 votes. So I think we know you are continuing to vote. Okay. Okay, we go directly to the really last question. And what country you are viewing from? So we would like to know where do you come from? I couldn't list all potential countries. I listed the most popular, but just the most popular for our project, not the most important or something like that. But normally people that are following Crafts Code project are coming from these countries, but I will be happy to see participants from other countries. And this is the last question in order to end. I thank you really very much. I thank you for the participation, also to this last direct pool. Okay. Okay, perfect. I think we can stop the pool. We go back to our question and answer moments. So I see question for Emmett in Ireland. What were the unexpected benefits of COVID on your business?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so unexpected benefits, I think initially it was very hard, as everyone knows, to navigate the landscape. But the biggest benefit has been in Ireland has been the drive towards shopping local, buying local, supporting your community. from the general public, and that has led to a huge amount of online orders and sales. I'm not sure the exact percentage, but it's a multiple of hundreds of what it was for me in 2019. It's huge now online. So I think one of the big benefits or advantages of the COVID pandemic has been the proliferation of people buying online, shopping online. And for a designer or a maker or a crafts person, that's actually really good and easy, because when you get online orders, it's easier to manage them, to manufacture or make your stock and ship it from your home or from your business. So it's actually easier to operate as a business. Now, it's very important that you have a very good, active, dynamic website or e-commerce platform. That's crucial, and having good images and updating it regularly helps. And also, I think on social media too, I've noticed huge increases in people using social media like Facebook, Instagram, to a degree TikTok as well has come on, but in particular Instagram for me has been, I would say, a big factor since COVID hit. Everyone's at home, everyone has more time, and they are looking at social media a lot more, I feel, particularly Instagram, because it's quite visual. And if you can correlate some good imagery of you or your products to your customers and get that across well, it's quite effective. I've noticed big increases in conversion rates from coming through from Instagram in particular. So I suppose, yeah, to answer your question, I think COVID has been hard, but also been good for local designers and makers in Ireland anyway, because if people are buying local or shopping local or supporting local. And my I suppose big hope is that it continues. The vaccine is here. We will have approval by the end of the month in Europe, and all the member states will have access, in early January. So, by this time next year, we should be fairly back to a relative normality. And I suppose my hope or wish from a designer's point of view is to keep the momentum going of buying local, shopping local, supporting local into 2021, and to hopefully make an impression with my customers that makes them consider purchasing again, next year or the year after, when the pandemic ends, and trying to keep the spirit of the circular kind of economy going into the years to come. I think that's now probably going to become the challenge for people in 2021 once things settle down on the vaccine front. But yeah, thanks for your question. I hope I answered it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I don't see any other questions in the chat. So I think that we can say goodbye to all the participants. I thank you really very much for your participation. But we would like to invite you to remember that tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock in Central Europe time, we will meet again. Not in order to face another important topic that is related more to this period, to the COVID-19 contingency, and we can really discover what we are doing, what Europe is doing in this period. So I don't know if Shona or my colleagues, partners, would like to add something. Otherwise, I Thank you very much for all the participation. I thank you all the speakers because the good practices have been really, really appreciated. And maybe tomorrow we can give the results of the poll, or we can let you know after. And enjoy your lunch because it's time. And thank you very much again.
Thank you, Carlotta. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Thank you. Keep in touch for
Thank you,
tomorrow
everyone.
morning. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.